what step can the survivor take to begin their healing journeys, and how can therapy support this process?
Okay, so the first point I want to make is that survivors, people who've been abused in childhood, are often not believed. And that makes that first step where they actually tell their mum or someone and they're not believed can be really, really tough. And then the other thing that survivors do is they push it out of their own awareness and they tuck it away. I think of it as like a safe or in their brain where they just lock it up and don't want to know. And so I would say the healing journey, the process begins with awareness, that you know that what happened is wrong. Now, a kid of 4 or 5 who's abused, they don't have words because, funnily enough, the perpetrators don't tell them the words to put with this experience. They tell them wrong words, you know, like I love you or special or whatever, but they don't tell them that they're committing a crime against you. So a young person doesn't have words to even tell themselves or make sense of it. But often, from what my patients tell me, it doesn't feel right. And they want to tell mummy that it's bad and they want it to stop, but then they're not believed, so then they just push it away. So the beginning of the healing journey always is awareness. Awareness you didn't like it, awareness it was wrong, awareness it should have stopped, all of that. So it begins with awareness. And then obviously finding support, either a parent who cares or a friend or an auntie or someone. But not burdening them because they're not therapists, and you've got to be careful because, you know, some people might not be able to give you the answers you need, but to get a hug from someone and to be, if you can bear to be touched, that is, that can help. So support, awareness. And I would also say, apart from getting a therapist, obviously that's an obvious answer, to find a therapist who you like, who you can connect with. And if you don't like the first one, find another one. You need to have a good fit. But also I suggest doing a lot of research. Once you get that awareness and that knowledge and that realization, to then do the research. There's lots of good stuff out there. And a book I recommend is the one by Professor Bessel van der Kolk, K-O-L-K is his spelling, called The Body Keeps the Score, because that's about how the trauma gets captured in the body. And just talking therapies are not enough. You need, like, yoga is actually very good, and things like that, meditation, physical exercise. So The Body Keeps the Score is a great book for people to read. And I have quite a lot of patients who do terrific research, and they tell me stuff that I'm about to tell them, which is really good. And the other thing that you can learn about when you do your research is how, which I've already mentioned, trauma affects the way the brain functions. And the brain, like the amygdala lights up, other bits of the brain shut down. And to understand that, you then kind of start to know that it's not your fault that you're behaving strangely and overreacting. It's your brain responding because you've been traumatized. And another thing about the healing journey, and this is really for your sake, Sharon, as we're with a law firm, is, if possible, as not always possible, get a good lawyer and get justice if you can. So among my client population, I think I've only had 2 people who actually got monetary compensation for childhood sexual abuse, and that was from institutional abuse. When it's personal, very, very tricky, but I just think getting justice of some kind, even if it's just an apology, is really important for people who've been made to suffer, because particularly when a very small child is abused and they suffer, they tend to think it's their fault because their cognitive development is at that kind of self-centered stage, which is they think they cause everything. And so it's really important to get beyond that trap of feeling they're to blame and realizing you deserve justice, you deserve at least an apology, etc. So yes, so that's the healing journey.